Hi College and Career Success. This is your week 2 assignment video for chapter 3. So up above here, there's already the lecture videos for both chapters, and this video right here covers chapter 2 assignments. The video you're watching right now is going to cover chapter 3 assignments. They're all still due. In week 2, I just broke up the assignment videos to not be as lengthy. So let's go ahead and hop in. So as I talked about in the previous video, you do have chapter 2 assignments. You have a discussion board due by Wednesday. You have to post in both the chapter 2 and the chapter 3 for your week 2 attendance. You have 2 chapter 2 assignments and a chapter 2 quiz. So now let's go ahead and focus on chapter 3. So your chapter 3 discussion, your prompt is, can you identify any areas in your life that may be a potential problem if there were a setback, such as like maybe your car breaks down, you had to move, if you had like an illness that was very long, if something happened with your work schedule. What could you do for a backup plan if something did happen? So it's just one of these ways that we think through obstacles so that, anything can really occur. Your car can go out tomorrow. Like, hopefully I'm not jinxing anyone, but some things pop up and it's good to have a backup plan. So think of something that might cause the most issue. For a lot of us, it happens to be transportation. It could be childcare. It could be an illness. And just what would you do? Think about things like communicating with your instructors, getting to campus, having backup babysitters, whatever that might look like, just so that when that issue arises, hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, you would have some kind of plan in place. And so that's what you'll talk about in this discussion form. So you need to post your original response by Wednesday and then respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. Remember, you're also doing that for chapter 2. So both of those are going on this week. From there, you're going to complete your chapter 3 assignment. It's called What is Your Perfect Week? So it's going to open up into one of these PDFs again that you can type in. So keep in mind, it goes all the way down here. I'm going to talk about these questions next. But what you're doing, it goes Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So it's not quite 24 hours, but you are going to put in what your perfect week would look like. This is not your dream week. This is not like your ideal week, like spend it on the beach, right? Or the lake, or wherever your dream vacation would be. This is like your perfect week in terms of if you could structure your week to make it look exactly how you could with, still working, going to school, getting time to relax, spending time with friends and family. What would that look like for you? How late would you sleep? So let's say on Mondays, you're going to sleep. And if you don't want to type that over and over, like I'm just going to how that means like the same thing. And then maybe at 9 a.m., I'm going to go to class, whatever that looks like for you. Don't forget to add in, homework time, self-care, spending time with friends and family, your transportation, maybe if you have a long commute in particular. If you only drive like 20 minutes, you don't have to build that in. But if you have a long commute, you might build that in. So you're going to fill in all the boxes. And again, if you're at work for like 8 hours, you could definitely type, work a ton of times. Or you could just type in those quotation marks to show like you're doing the same thing. Now, after you complete your perfect week, again, it's how you would structure it if you could absolutely decide your complete schedule. You're going to answer these questions. It asks about study time, sleep time, socializing, and self-care. Now, if you have a program that you can type right on here, go ahead and do that. If you don't, this assignment is both a file or text submission. So you can upload the file, and then in the text submission, like the comment area, you can type the answers to those 4 questions. All right, so that is your chapter 3 assignment. From there, you have your chapter 3 quiz, which right here. So the first question is, think about your assignments in high school and how oftentimes there are like worksheets or classroom activities. Do you think that's true? And then based on what you have done in college so far, how would you describe most of your college assignments? Are they harder or just different? Have you had to change the way you prepare for class, homework, tests? Does anything from high school still work from you, or have you found anything new? Now, for some of you, if this is your first college class, I know we're only in the 2nd week, so you can kind of just talk about what you know so far to the best of your ability. Question 2 talks about, have you ever tracked your time before reading about time tracking in this chapter? What have you learned about the amount of time it takes you to do every activity? So think about your daily routine and how much time you spend on certain things. Do you over or underestimate how much time it takes to do something? And if you had to give a new college student time management advice, what are your top 5 tips? From there, this is like a it's called Eisenhower matrix, like a way of looking at assignments. But if you had 2 assignments and they're urgent and important and you have to talk about them with your instructor, what do you think about meeting to discuss an assignment or problem? What first pops into your head? Like, are you anxious? You avoid it? You don't mind? Are you comfortable meeting with an instructor about a problem, handling 2 different assignments that are really important? How would you start the conversation? Is there anything that would increase your comfort level? Question 4, think about the time you sit around. Just maybe you're waiting to pick someone up, or you're waiting to drop someone off. You're in a lobby. Have you waited for your kids to be out of school in the doctor's office? How often does this happen? And how could you use that kind of wait around time in an effective way? Could you study flashcards? Could you make phone calls? Could you, read a chapter, whatever that might look like. And then question 5, think about your future career. If you're not 100% decided, that's okay. Think about what something you might want to go into. How will time management play a role in that career? Can you think of some ways that the skills and strategies talked about in our chapter could help you be more effective as a worker and later in the workplace? All right, so as a recap, as part of week 2, you already completed, hopefully, chapter 2 assignments. You will then also complete your chapter 3 original discussion board by Wednesday for weekly attendance. This talks about that setback, the obstacle that you might run into. Responded to classmates by Sunday. Your chapter 3 assignment about your perfect week, and then your chapter 3 quiz. Those are due Sunday as well. If you have any questions over anything from week 2, whether it's chapter 2 or chapter 3, please feel free to reach out and have a great week.